Namaste, my friends. Today I want to talk to you about happiness, and more specifically about a very well-known fact that Finland is the happiest country in the world. What exactly is happiness? And what is this UN Happiness Index that has put Finland on the top 3 years in a row already? This UN Happiness Index measures happiness based on 6 factors, which are social support, life expectancy, generosity, corruption levels, GDP, and freedom. So maybe these factors are a little bit more about something that we'd call high living standards than the traditional concept of what happiness means to us all. Because trust me, when you would land in Finland and walk out in the streets, you would not necessarily think that you are in the happiest country in the world, because Finnish people aren't these very cheerful, extrovert people who just smile all the time and show their happiness outwards. In my previous vlog about cultural shocks that I experienced as a Finn coming to India, there have been so many comments where the viewers have not maybe understood how Finland can be such a happy country because we have so many divorces, very small social circles, and it's just so quiet and empty in Finland. So how can that be the happiest country in the world? And sure, it came as a surprise to even many of us Finns ourselves that, wait, what? We are the happiest country in the world. For comparison's sake, for example, the US, with the highest GDP in the world, pretty much the richest nation and kind of the American dream model for the whole world, is only 19th on the list. And India is the 10th least happy country in the world, while Delhi is the 7th least happy city in the world. What I should also point out is that this rating isn't done by Finland or the Western countries or the UN, that is just saying that, oh yes, these developing nations and India are at the bottom of the list, but the ranking of happiness is based on the perception of the citizens in each country themselves. Okay, so now let's take a look into the key factors that make Finland the happiest country in the world. I think one of the most important things must be that we have a very good system of social support networks and a lot of social trust. So what these mean is that in order to have a well-functioning country, you must have trust for the institutions and authorities and the other citizens in your country. Finnish people have a strong foundation of trust in both the judiciary, police, education, and the defense forces, but also in the market economy and civil organizations. The average Finnish citizen is a very trustworthy person. There is this international test where Reader's Digest did this wallet test in several countries all over the world, and they dropped 12 wallets all over the cities and then saw how many of those were returned. And unsurprisingly, Finland was the best in this test, where 11 out of 12 wallets were returned to its owner. I'm very embarrassed that there was one that was not returned. And one happy fact is that actually Mumbai came second in this test, and 10 out of 12 wallets were returned. So there is like a lot of trustworthy individual people in India also, and that derives from the Atiti Deva Bhava mentality and the role that karma plays in the Indian culture. I myself have lost my wallet so many times in Finland. I think it has happened to me at least 5 times, and each one of those times I have been returned my wallet. What helps us Finns to maintain that necessary trust for our society is that relatively we have a very honest government and judiciary, police, and the press. And even if there are some bad seeds and wrongdoers in the system, they are usually found out and also punished appropriately. For example, just recently there was a scandal where the Finnish money minister had acquired some training services by having her ministry pay those, even though she should have been paying those herself. And once this came to the public limelight, she was actually forced to quit her position as the minister and is also currently under the investigation by the Finnish Central Police. And also just last year, how we came to have the youngest female prime minister in the world was because the prime minister before that was forced to resign his position due to not giving the accurate facts about the postal services in Finland. I mean, just like think about it, postal services, and you are forced to resign as prime minister. So as you can see, there are consequences for any wrongdoers in the Finnish system, which helps us maintain that kind of trust to the institutions and authorities. Another key factor for happiness is that you have to have a strong sense of personal freedom and safety. And I feel like that is very true in Finland, which is also one of the most equal countries in the world, especially when it comes to gender equality. So I, for example, do not feel like I've been hindered by my gender at any point in my life, and actually there are these days more higher educated women than there are men. And before the recent resignment of the Finnish money minister, the top 5 ministers in the current Finnish government were all young female professionals, which is like, wow, pretty awesome, right? You can be a representative of a minority, whether it is ethnicity or religion, sexuality, or even just like lower class in Finland, and still have the same kind of possibilities to climbing up on the social ladder, and you have your personal freedoms and rights intact, and you get all the possibilities that a government can provide. And Finland is also one of the safest countries in the world, where we don't have that much violence and crime, and you don't have to be scared because you can trust the people around you and also the authorities. A couple other factors that really help in making the Finnish people very happy are that we have a very good work-life balance, which is actually something that I have not seen to be the case here in India. So in Finland, for example, if your workday ends at 5 o'clock, you are supposed to leave at 5 o'clock. If you even leave at 5:05, it is considered a bad thing and your boss will tell you to get the hell out of the place. And it's considered very inefficient if you don't get your work done in that time frame that is given to you. And that is something that, wow, just blew my mind when I came to India, because here you're just like staying until it's dark and maybe like even past dinner time, and you just like try to give this appearance of commitment to the work without having that same kind of efficiency that Finns try to demonstrate with having the shortest possible day. And in Finland, it is actually the boss who is the last one at work, so you don't stay there after them to give that kind of appearance of, yes, I am your best employee. Finland is also one of the first countries in the world to experiment with 4-day working weeks, and we have this like very good social benefit system where you even get a good amount of money to enable living, even if you are unemployed, or you have a good pension readily for all the Finnish people, and basically you have lots of benefits. And Finland also had the biggest experiment with basic income so far in the world. So in Finland, you pretty much have these like 8-hour days, 5 days a week, and that is your full week's work. And then with your free time, you get to enjoy whatever your hobbies or activities might be, or just like, hang out with family or go out into the clean environment and nature. And there have been so many Indian people commenting to me that, oh yes, I should just try meditation here in India and that will give me peace. But then they might just completely judge the fact that, oh my god, it's so quiet and empty in Finland. But the thing is that In India, they are telling me to find the silence by meditation, but what I love about Finland is that I don't have to do this conscious work for trying to find my inner peace. I can just walk out of the house and just be in peace, which is pretty awesome, right? So I would say that Finland is the place of meditation and inner peace without even trying, really. And by listing these qualities, I most definitely do not mean to say that India is in any way a worse country than Finland. As you all very well know, I'm just so happy to be here in India, and at this moment I would not choose to be anywhere else, but obviously the main factor for my happiness is that I have a lovely family and my husband who is an Indian citizen. So these are some like universal things that are about people's personal lives, but what I think is the thing about this happiness index is how a country enables its citizens' happiness. So you can just like ask yourself if you really feel that these factors that I just listed, making Finns happy, the happiest country in the world, are those something that is provided to you here in India? Because, like, of course, each and every one of us will be happy with our family and when we're not just like completely alone. And I'm not saying that there aren't struggles in Finland. Of course there are. Many people are also worried about the housing situation because the prices for living are just like increasing all the time in Finland. And also recently climate change has become the biggest concern for the average Finnish person, and the rise of inequality and populism are things that also make the average Finn pretty nervous about the future. So yes, we also worry. I would say, as a sum up from the research that I put into studying this happiness index report, is that money can't buy you happiness, because like I mentioned earlier, the US, that has the highest GDP per capita, is only 19th on this happiness index ranking, and Finland doesn't even have the highest GDP of the Nordic countries. But what is something that will likely guarantee the happiness is that government can buy this happiness for you. So a well-functioning political system and government and state system enabling all those opportunities and equality to you is a guarantee for a happy life. Finns are very modest, humble people, and they don't really brag around about their successes. And we have this like national motto as a traditional proverb, which is that he who has happiness must hide it. And we're also very pessimistic people, so even though things are really good for us right now, we just keep waiting for the next catastrophe and just preparing for it with our amazing government. So guys, I hope that you found this vlog very enlightening, and I very much hope that we can use all this info to build a happier world where we have a very good living environment for each and every country and culture. And yep, maybe one day there will be another country that will take the top spot away from Finland. If you like this vlog, please do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, because I really hope to make these kinds of vlogs for you in the future too. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Mwah.